Hello, everyone. What's happening? You see what we've got going on so far. I'm going to record this. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Mom. I'm going to record this so that we have it for reference. I'm not going to. I don't want to do this workshop and have it really be drawn out because I know that people they like to get right in and learn something and get out. So I'm hoping that we keep the time down because I know it's summer and I bet you got beautiful things to go enjoy. However, yeah, so I'm going to give it just another minute because I know we have about seven to 10 registrants, and I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to jump on. I know I'm late for a lot of these things, so I hope you guys don't mind. It's hot here in Vermont today, which is really cool because July was not hot. July was all about seeming like springtime, you know? A little crazy. So we're going to talk about PicMonkey and Canva. And I'm going to, oh, I should probably, nope, I don't need to do that. Yeah, we have a few people that are jumping on, so I just want to be sure that we're ready for them. In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll open up a couple of tabs and share them with you. Hey, we have a new person. Hey, Dale, what's up? Share computer sound. I don't know if that's going to make it worse. But I want to open up some tabs so that we can see kind of everything, all the different places that I go to on the regular all the time. So you should be able to see. I just took a nap, guys, and I am still waking up, waiting for the coffee to kick in. Yeah, it's definitely hot out. Our fire alarm went off today, and there was no smoke. I'm like, what is going on? It's because it's humid. I'm like, come on now. I lived in Florida. That was humid, but I guess they forgot to tell these smoke alarms. All right. Let me see. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and get started because we are recording, and I do respect your time, and I want to make sure everybody is able to learn something. And if you have any questions, I'm pretty sure you're able to unmute yourself if you need to. And if not, then you can type them in the chat or you can ask me later. But sometimes it's good to have questions answered right on the spot. So these are my three go-to. There are more. There are plenty more. But I like these three the very best. First place I always go when looking for an image is Pexels. I love Pexels. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. I love Pexels because the images aren't usually, you have the ability, look at this picture, it's gorgeous. When you can change the size of your download, and I like to do medium because that's about the size that you need for your Facebook cover, and they're just fantastic. Now, what these three websites are basically, there's a lot of professional photographers out there, millions of them, and they take crazy amounts of photographs to try to get the images that they're looking for their clients, right? Then there's a crazy amount of those images that don't make the cut for their clients, and so they just dump them, okay? So, like, there's a website called Morguefile, and what that means is the ones that they were going to throw out, instead of throwing them out, they throw them on Morguefile, and it gives you the ability to go ahead and download pictures that you can edit any way you want to and use for advertisements without getting copyright infringement. I don't know about you, but that's really great, especially if you're a blogger, because it's a big deal. You know, you use a Getty image without telling Getty you're getting a cease and desist letter within 30 days. And if you don't remove it, they will fine you. So with that being said, we can make some really beautiful pictures from these things. Look at this. This is so great. I want to go there. Like, where are they? Let's see. Now, on Unsplash, you actually get to learn about the photographer. You can give them credit if you'd like. But basically, it gives you the how it was taken, the f-stop, and all that fun stuff. Let me see if I can move this guy again without. I'm always so afraid of touching anything. You can add it to a collection. You can create an account and love it if you want to. But that's why I like these 3 sites. I like this one because I can choose the size and I don't have to bring it to PicMonkey to make it smaller. And oftentimes you'll see pictures that are on Unsplash over here, but not too much. These guys tend to be pretty separate. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to run into a lot of overlay. Look at this. I love that. Now Pixabay is very much like Pexels, and you can adjust the size. And I'm actually going to steal this because I have an idea. So some of these, maybe I'll use that idea right here. Some of these will require a CAPTCHA, especially when they're bigger, to make sure I don't know why, but that's okay. So they're never sensitive to whether it's capitals or not. I can't even, sometimes these things kill me because my eyesight has gotten bad over the years. You don't have to separate them or anything like that. You just do it, and it's going to save. And sometimes it'll give you a name. If you need to be able to find it quickly, either leave your downloads open, or you can rename it by clicking on it and showing in folder. I like to be able to locate things pretty quickly. That's not done. I'm going too fast for it. So I'll usually change the name. You don't have to, but usually I do. So I'm going to go to bus because I know that was in the beginning there. And right here, I'm going to change the name by right-clicking on the image and renaming the file. And I'm going to call it bus stop, just so it's easier to find. Okay? That's it. Boom. You're out of there. In your downloads, everything's wonderful. So these are a little bit higher quality over here. However, they're humongous files, and you need to bring them onto PicMonkey to change the size because PicMonkey won't even let you play with it. And if you use them on Canva, Canva will sometimes say, this is too big. Forget about it because it takes up a lot of space. So what you want to do is, if you do want to use them on Canva, you're going to have to bring them to PicMonkey first, because I'm going to go ahead and download this one because it's cool looking. This one usually they usually have the name of the photographer, so it makes it easier to find. What you'll do is you'll go to PicMonkey, and I'm on the free. I have a pro account. I pay $5 a month. I highly suggest you do that. I do. No, this is not an affiliate thing. I'm not trying to promote this. I don't even know if you can be an affiliate. All I know is that for $5 a month, PicMonkey is worth every dollar. But I'm going to show it to you because I promised free. So I just click his name. I'm going to put him in there, and you'll see how giant this picture is. And I didn't want it I didn't want it like that. Why did I do that? This again? Edit. I didn't think I had that clicked. Let's see. They do have a free trial. I think it's like 10 days. You know, if you go in there and you want to play around with some stuff, see, it says, "Oh, Lordy, that's so huge." It's going to ask you to change it. So I'm going to go ahead and change it like that. Let's see where it changed it to. 3,000 is too big. So I'm going to bring it down to 1,000 and apply. And when I go to save it on PicMonkey, I hit export. Earth. This is new. This is new. You used to be able to save no problem. Free. So I guess you would, let me go ahead and do that. I'll save it on my old account. No, that's the, I'm not a robot. Yeah, you can connect it right to your Facebook. If I do that right now, then it's going to go pro, and then you're not going to see how to do it for free. But it's going to bring you to the download page, and you always want to save everything in PNG. The reason why is because with the PNG image, it never distorts no matter how many times you reuse it. With a JPEG or a JPG, it distorts every single time you reuse it. So if you wanted to bring it over to Canva, the quality of the picture is going to get less and less and less as you go. So you most of on Pexels and Pixabay, you've got to adjust it yourself. Now you can use it your first time, right? No problem. If you're going to go straight to Canva, which I'm going to show you, Canva always recommends that you save as a PNG, which is great. I love that about them. And they have a wide selection of different templates that you can use right off the bat, and that's fantastic. There is a pro feature here, and I believe it's $10 a month or more. I don't know. I haven't done it just because I think that's too much. So with what I do is I combine the power of a pro PicMonkey with Canva, and I'm able to really go crazy. So say you want an Instagram post. This is a pretty popular thing. Instagram's perfect picture is 1080 by 1080. So you're going to pull that up. And you could use layouts that they have. Now there's some that are free that you pay per use. I think you have 24 hours to pay that. And there's tons that are free. There's enough that's free. But you can also become a little artistic yourself. Excuse me, Stella. I'm trying to do something, honey. Oh, there you go. Big kisses. And you can kind of design your own. So what I'll do is I'll go over to backgrounds, and I will select that. If I want to change the color of that because I don't want it to be so frilly, I can change it to that. And then I go back over to elements, and elements are going to give you a bunch of different things. Grids, they're going to give you stock photos, which are excellent, and you're going to find a lot of those stock photos are in here, but I try to stay away from theirs for the sake that everyone's using theirs, and we're here to talk about standing out a little bit. You can do frames. I'll show them to you. And I used to always use this frame down here a little bit. I don't know where it went. Some of you might recognize that. See the tape? I love that. You also have things like this that you can add. So I'm going to get rid of this guy. And over here is your control panel on Canva. That's your delete. I can move this here. A beautiful thing about Canva is you can really center something because it gives you grids to show you where things are. See that? That's perfectly centered. And I can fade it. And I can go to my uploads. I can upload the image that I just grabbed and change the size of, so Canva will be happy with me. And that would be the PNG. I have the original in JPEG form. There is the PNG. Much faster upload. You try to do those big pictures, Canva's going to give you a hard time. And you have to wait for the water to go all the way to the top. You can also connect to your Facebook account, which when you come on Canva, you do have to either connect with Google Plus or Facebook. You can grab your own pictures, which is pretty cool. So you see how that looks right there? I'm not going to fade it though. I am going to change. Pretty sure I can. Thought you could, maybe not. You can also throw pretty cool filters. My favorite filter is Kali. I have no idea why. I just like it. And there are advanced options. If you're skilled at this stuff, you can play with this. I can make it more intense. I can do a vignette. And boom. I could save that filter code here for future use if I really loved how I just did that. Okay. Let me see. Let's go back to elements. I want to show you more things. I'm going to click on that so it doesn't. You want to X out of elements. You can add shapes. And there are a lot of shapes that you can use completely free. So take your time. Sometimes your computer speed will slow you down on this a little bit. You just want to take your time. If you go faster than the computer will go, it's not going to show you everything you want to see. But I can take that and I can copy it, put it right there, and do some funky stuff with it. Do that again, make it a little smaller. I don't know what that sound was. That's strange. I could play with things like that. You could take something like this and change the outside, the inside to, we're going to go with blues because that's what's going on here. And I want it to be a more twilight blue. Adjust the darkness. And you can really go to town, making all sorts of awesome sauce things. I don't know why it went to photos. Okay, so we have shapes, you have lines. You can add lines. You can change the color of the line. We'll go to my palette. It also saves your palette as you're going, which is a really nice feature, especially if you're trying to be congruent. Because there's a couple of rules with making your own artwork. Try not to use ever more than 2 fonts. Always. You don't have to be perfect with matching colors and all that fun stuff. Not at all. However, you want to try to learn a little bit of theory. Do you want things to be more monochromatic, which is similar? Like I did this blue is similar. Or do you want contrast? Think about what it is that you're looking for. If you want contrast, you want things at the opposite ends of the spectrum. And you can see the spectrum here. So if I want contrast with blue, I'm going to go to the yellows, right across. Here, I'm going to stay in the monochromatic area. And here, I'm going to contrast. I'm going to still be contrasting here and still be contrasting over here. So it's up to you to decide what kind of feeling that you want to give with that. So I hope that helps. You can also copy your color code. You love this color? That's awesome. Maybe you're going to bring it back to PicMonkey. You can use that color code over there. They're universal. They have icons, which are pretty cool, and they have the like Facebook and Instagram icons and all that fun stuff. Let's see, I'm going too fast. I'm freaking it right out. So I'm going to make this one contrasting. And maybe I'll throw it right on top of this and make it. You can really do a lot of layers here. And I can see how it's perfectly, because I can tell, because the Canva notices that I'm using that template and is helping me make that perfect. That's awesome. So don't be afraid to dig around in here for interesting things to use. Let me see, we got charts. And these are really great, especially if you're making slides, because you'll be able to demonstrate things. That is really cool. I'm going to throw this guy over here because I like it. So you could have that on a slide, and you could be using that to demonstrate and have a color code over here, like the light blue over here means, you know, you need to talk to this many people. And the yellow is you need to make this many appointments. And the purple is you need to have this many people on a presentation. And the white is you need to have this many people in a three-way call or something like that, you know. And then green would be how many people you actually signed up. You could do all sorts of awesome stuff with that. So I wanted to get you familiar with what's going on in Canva. Now say I'm like, oh, I'm making this awesome thing, but I'm not really loving my background. You know what? I don't love my background, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to go, hello. Oh, I can delete the background and then make my background black. I can make my background orange. And these are kind of muted. If you want something more primary color, you hit that. And you just see where it is on the orange. It's not quite orange enough. So you could make it more orange. Or you can bring it back down, make it more mustard. You play with it. That's mustard, that's for sure. White is in the center on Canva. You'd want to, that's your grayscale. You'd want to go all the way over. It's a lot of fun. You really play with the stuff a lot. Oh, that's awful. I don't like that. I'm just going to put blue. Now, text. I like the text here, but I prefer the text on PicMonkey. You can just go ahead and add headings, subheadings, and a little bit of body text. Or you could use their templates. Last night on a team huddle, my girl Jamie, she said, I use this one all the time, and it's this one. You are simply the best, I believe. That no matter what, that's the one she's using, and she'll change the font and the size to fit what's going on. Now, if you see something like this, and you want it to stand out, and you don't want it to be so confusing like I have right here. Let me get rid of some things. Excuse me, that I don't need. So you can get rid of parts of it without getting rid of all of it. Well, let me move. I can move this down and still have it there. Let me get rid of these guys. Because that, I was just trying to demonstrate the many different things you could layer up a photo with. Excuse me, but it's a little confusing. So I want to get rid of that for you. Now this will show me exactly where I need to be at the top. If I wanted it there, if I want it directly in the middle, just take your time. It'll give you that crosshair. And most of the time, that's where you go. I'm going to get rid of that. Delete element. And you can see how crispy and clean that looks. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go back. Just want to show you grids, which I haven't done yet. Grids, if you slide them over, are going to fill up the entire area. So this would be where you would do a collage or whatnot. But if you want the whole picture and you arrange, you send backwards, okay? You go back to your uploads and you might not. I need to move that. No. What's happening? There it is. You want to slide it over there and it'll catch the entire grid and you'll be able to keep it. It doesn't matter how big that picture is. I know that I saved it at 1,800 whatever, and this is 1080. It's going to work as long as you don't have a really giant photo. It's going to fit just fine. And so we can play with that. I'm going to do filter. And I think I want it to be really intense. And I'm going to change this to a new color. I'm going to go black. And I'm going to change this to a new color. And I'm going black for the sake of being able to see it. And then we have this. Now letting me grab that. There's a way of grabbing that. So say you wanted to change this font. You have a drop-down menu here. And there are so many different fonts. Remember which one you pick, because you might go through a few before you find the one you want to use. So you want to say, oh, I really like Lato. So on a scribbler, write Lato, because you might come back and put Lato hairline and it's not what you're looking for. And you're like, ah, and that happens. And don't worry about it, because the more you get familiar with the names of these are and what you love, I know that I generally resonate towards the same things over and over again. I'm liking this type font a lot to the Playfair, which it already is. I love the scripts. I used to be a big Railway person. Dale, you might remember that. Sacramento, I like handwriting, but I like it to be like first grade handwriting, and it'll save what you have up here. And let me see, there's Special Elite is a favorite of mine. And then I can do another military style, so it kind of matches. Okay? Now, with that being said, I'm going to get rid of this entire element. Right, gone. So I'm going to take this picture. See, it says PNG recommended. You can do a PDF or JPG, but PNG is recommended. And you can name it here. It says you're simply the best because that was the type font I put. Let me show you that so you see. I can name this. And change the name. Do that. Make sure you can find stuff. You can also make it public so other people can see your image on Canva and use it. I don't do that. I don't ever do that. Because it takes a little bit of a minute, gives you some inspiration while you're there, and it downloads just like that. I want to show you something else before we're gone, because we're going over to PicMonkey now. If you are creating, like, say, a workshop like this, maybe you're going to talk about something, do some slides, teach somebody how to do something. Beautiful thing about this is, I'm just looking for it. Presentation. That's a 16 by 9, and you can do full-blown presentation. You can design everyone just the way you want. They have a bunch of ideas here, really awesome, and they're free. There's some paid in here, but you gotta love that. There's 10, see it says 10 slides there, 10 slides there. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And it will, you can, oh, look at that. You can see what those 10 slides are gonna look like. So you go ahead and bring it over. How awesome is that? When you get to the new page, I guess it's going to show you, I guess you have to drag it over. I thought before you didn't have to. But you can edit these, type what you want, say what you want. You can change the picture. Okay, you can change the picture in the background, which is great. So I'm going to hit this, and let me see what happens when I hit, yep. So I can go over here and grab a picture of my own. I'm going to put an element on it, and that would be a frame. And I'm going to find one that's long and skinny, like that. I'm going to throw it up there, and I'm going to go like this, and like this, and I'll probably move it even like that. I'm going to arrange it and send it behind that. Now I'm going to there, and I'm going to bring that in. See what I'm saying? You can do lots of really awesome stuff. I'm not going to save this. I just wanted to show it to you. And I'm going to leave. Anybody have any questions right now? Because we are going to go ahead over to PicMonkey. because I think PicMonkey is really important, and I love PicMonkey. One thing that's really cool about Canva, it saves everything that you've ever done, and you can go back and edit it and use the same image over and over again with different colors and different sayings and all that fun stuff, and I love that. I think you can get pretty awesome inside of here. And if you get comfortable with Canva, you don't really need anything else. I'm just a big PicMonkey fan, and I want to show you why. And that's that. I'm going to show you. So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat or unmute yourself and ask me. I'm going to get out of there. And we're going to go over here and get rid of that. I hope that I'm not being really confusing. I'm kind of like flying through stuff. I hate to do that. I want to show you something most people don't know about on PicMonkey, even on the free trial. Not the free trial, the free version. It's pretty great that they did this. They needed to step it up because of Canva's competition. And when you come over here, if you are a Prime member, which I am at $4 a month, $4.99 comes out of my PayPal. I have a lot of selections. You might start noticing some of these things from, as of late, I've been using this a lot. But if you are on the free account, you're going to hit free. And there's an awful lot here. And they're beautiful. And they're done for you. Okay, they're already finished. They also give you the templates like they do over on Canva. Tumblr post, half-page ad, medium background cover, Facebook profile, SD profile, Snapchat geofilter, skyscraper, LinkedIn. Just a lot of really great things. I think it's awesome. I am going to use this one. I'm going to see how big it is. I'm going to alter that when it's done because I'm not using it for print, but I'm going to make it 1,000 and then it's going to adjust itself there. With a pro account also, you don't get all these ads and it runs a little faster. So the father overlay, I'm going to click on that and I'm going to change the color. I want it to be white. And I want to take the fade away a bit. I want it not to be as faded. Now, I can totally change what that says. So let me do that so you can see that you can edit that. Why aren't you cooperating with me? Oh my gosh. Maybe you can. Oh. I'm going to hit replace image from my computer. And I'm going to go with the UR simply. And it's going to do it for you. You're not going to have to drag anything over, which I like a lot. Now I'm going to find out why this father thing is not letting me edit it. Don't quite understand that. It's an image, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. So let's get rid of it. Let's delete it. Let's go to their fonts. They have a lot. There's a lot that is pro. That's really great, but I don't know if I ever use pro features more than I do others. I love Forum. That's a beautiful text. I'm going to add it. And I'm going to say something. What should I say? How about you are simply the best? Now, this doesn't let you see how it doesn't give me any crosshairs. You got to be a little bit smarter than the PicMonkey. You're going to put your two left-hand circles over on that side, and you're going to stretch it to be the same over here. You're going to increase the size to what you want. You can center it. You can put it to the left. You can put it to the right. And I love that. You can also fade it out. I think that's really pretty. You can change the color while it's faded out. Maybe I would do a blue. No. A yellow fade would be nice. You have to drag yourself around here. Remember I saved the color code? I can just put it in there. And why didn't you go? You hit enter after it and it changes it. That's the same color I designed over on Canva. Very easy. Now this is why this is probably my favorite thing. This feature. It is a premium feature. You can put drop shadows on there, and you can also curve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, no, I'm not even going to show it to you. If you're interested in that, I can show you how to use it. It's phenomenal. So what you can also do here is, this is something that they do not have on Canva, and it makes, yeah, I want to save this. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't want that right now. They have beautiful things that you can't get over on Canva. And those are different textures. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Are you? Oh, I have to hit apply. So I'm going to take that texture, I'm going to hit apply. Now I'm going to hit on this. Now those two textures are combined. I don't know if that's what I was trying to do. You can do paints. See that? You can change the way something feels with different paint overlays. You can also edit the paint, which that is really cool. You can do a screen that looks like I just painted it myself with a watercolor. Overlay, lighten, and hard light. So there's also normal, add, darken, a difference. There are so many options over here that you just, I think you have to be a pro member over there to get, and you don't have to do that over here for free. Another thing that you can do is you can do rounded corners. You might see a lot of my pictures have me in a circle and it's transparent. I can apply that. I can go to drop shadow and give that a shadow and then make it transparent again. All sorts of different kinds of things you could do with that. I like clean edges, but you might like museum mats. So they have them on the simple edge in the museum mats. You also have themes. I know my friend Keith Everett, he loves comic books. So a lot of his stuff becomes comic book. And you can increase the dot size. And increase the strength. You can double up the amount of overlays you have. I'm sorry, guys, that nasty cough. And say I like that, but I don't like it to be so strong. I can fade it out. Oh, that's a premium feature. You got to be careful. Just look for the crown. So I'm going to get rid of that. There are vampires, zombies, Day of the Dead, all these things. And even though if you're not doing something for Halloween, there's things that you can use in here that are going to make the picture really, really cool. You might have to do, see, look how cool that is. You can take the brightness down and you can fade it out, make it look really scary. So when it comes to this, when it comes to PicMonkey, I'm a fan. It's really hot in here, guys. I think it's almost time for the pool. Their overlays aren't as awesome. Like the geometric shapes and whatnot. If you're not, well, even when it's pro, it's not, these aren't great. But you can add them, and they have 2 colors. Let me mute myself a second. Sorry about that, guys. Woo! So you can use these. That's right there on transparent. I can make it red and make this one white, whatever color I want. Okay. If you wanted to edit yourself, like say you got a picture, and I've done it. Don't get me wrong. I use Z Camera a lot, and Z Camera actually lets me edit without having to play a lot with it. But here with the beauty, there's a bunch that's only pro, but I can whiten my teeth, and I can fix my blemishes, and I can boost my blush, and all sorts of stuff like that, which is pretty cool. This right here is your general, I don't know if that'll, yeah, it ortens the outside, but not really in there. You could soften, which is kind of nice. HDR is a pro. So you can see what I did there is I focaled here and softened everything else. You can change it. You can increase the blur. You can make the focal size smaller. You can make the edge harder or more faded out. There's just so many different things that you can do. And you can do this when you set your mind to it, when you know what it is that you want to post. Whether it's an invite to a webinar, an awesome quote, whatever it is, once you get to it and you get used to this, you'll be able to create awesome things that nobody else has. I always suggest, unless you're doing it for others or you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, whatever it is, that you put your name on your art. Yes, this is a photo that we got from there, from I think we did that from Unsplash. Yeah, Unsplash or Pixabay, it doesn't matter which one. But now it's yours because you created the graphics around it. Now this is something that they don't have on Pixabay. Oh, they don't. I can't do it. Over here on the effects, if you were to have a pro account, you could actually make this kind of like inverted so it's barely there. If you don't have a pro account and aren't interested in one, you just fade it out. It's not intrusive. And somebody would have to crop your name out in order to take your idea. So with that being said, oh my God, I'm coughing so much. I can't stop it. I just want to make sure, I want to see if there's anything that I'm missing that you want me to go over. If I'm going too fast or whatever, maybe you don't know about the hub. Oh, you got to do that on a pro account. Okay. Don't worry about the hub then if you're on a free account. Would anybody like me to log into my PicMonkey and show you what the difference is? Because I think it's pretty cool. Make sure you write down the names of these websites. Pexels.com. How about I do this? How about I put them in the chat? These are my 3 favorite. There are more, but there's like 27 of them. There's lots. This one, these are my favorite. That's number 1. Okay. Well, I think we're good then. If there's no questions that are pressing right now, if you have questions later, feel free to ask me. I know I went really fast, and I just want to make sure. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Dale. Yeah, anything like that, just hook me, just say, hey, what's going on? You went so fast, I didn't know what you're talking about. I'm more than happy to slow it down for you or give you a better explanation if I was going crazy. And you can say thanks. You don't have to, but that's kind of cool. You want them to keep contributing, especially when they're producing art like that. I think it's great. Come on, chat. There it is. Awesome sauce, guys. So grab those 3 links right now, and then we're going to get out of here. Ooh, I just cannot believe how the heat's crept up on us today. Definitely going to have to hit the pool. And I thank you so much for taking time. I have this recorded, so when it renders, I'll put it up. I'll email it to whoever registered, and then if you're like in my groups or anything like that, you'll be able to see them because I'll put them in there too. I hope this helped. Awesome. All right. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the other side. Bye.